RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? It's Shuttleworth the God, aka LB, Lauderdale Boss, the GOAT artist, Soul Boss creator, RingGangRadio.com in the building. You know what I mean? Best boxing podcast in the game right now. So, you know what it is.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
It was Fly. It's your boy Conscious Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger, number one contender. Thursday night liftoff. Let's get it, man. Ring Gang Radio, baby.
That's what it is, man. Conscious Pilot, because he stays elevated above the clouds. You dig, man? So, it's always good to have him on there. And last, but certainly not least, man, we got our special guest for tonight, and, he's a friend of Ring Gang Radio. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
What up, Ring Gang?
Oh, snap.
I think he's swimming now.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, Keith, you kind of cut out a little bit, so do that again.
Oh, it's your boy Keith Soprano. I'm here, the humble beast, representing Jersey. Ring Gang Radio, let's go.
Jersey in the building, let's get it.
Tunnel Gang,
yes,
new
sir.
Yes, and then shout out to Jay Lewis. I see you in the comments. Hi, Jay Lewis.
What up?
Oh man, so we definitely got a show for each other. Usually, we do our shows on Sunday or whatever, but we wanted to work with our guests, because we miss having him on the show. So we work with him, and he got available for us. Shout out to Keith Soprano once again, man. For making it happen.
Sir.
Yeah, so we definitely got some stuff to talk about. Before we get into the boxing part, which is obviously we'll be previewing Canelo versus Plant, because we got stuff to say about that, as well as talking about Claressa Shields' loss to Montez the other night. Me and LB gotta talk about this movie. Now, this movie we've been trying to watch for a good minute, and that movie is called Raging Fire, starring the really underutilized Donnie Yen in America, not in Asia. In Asia, that dude's a superstar.
Yeah.
But in America, for some reason,
in America, he's gonna be in the new John Wick 4. He's getting there.
But he should have been there. The Blade should have been his turn, and he should have had a bigger role in that. But that's a whole nother story. But
and, he been making it work with Yip Man series too. So
yeah. He definitely
but he's still underrated. But he's one of the best, all-time great, legendary martial artist, all of that.
Yeah, and funny thing, the dude is like 56 or something like that, and dude is still moving like he's in his 30s or something like that. It's incredible. Like, dude stays in.
To be honest, he looked like he's in his late 30s. Like, if you told me he was older than 42, I would be like, stop. Yeah,
I'm saying, like, dude is dude is a marvel. And this particular movie, Raging Fire, like the story of how I came to, because LB's usually on these martial art flicks early. Like sometimes I am, but LB be on the Asian martial arts flicks early. So a
year early.
yeah. So he sent me the trailer on the movie.
And this was like, I think late 2020 or something.
Yeah,
like a while ago.
Yeah, and and I was like, oh shit, this shit is tough. And then he was like, yo, whenever you see it, look out for this, so we can watch it. I was like, all right, bet. And then it took a while. Then I think LB, he had people looking, and I always kept an eye out. But some movies, like if it doesn't cross over into American movies in some fashion, like the Raid movies eventually did, because it had a lot of attention, like it was buzzing.
Yeah, well, Raid crossed over so early. I seen that in the theaters. It's like I almost want to say that don't count.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying because Raid was buzzing early. Raid the Fire wasn't really buzzing. It didn't have that buzz like that. So it was kind of like we were trying to looking, and then I finally got a break from one of the most unlikely sources, and when I say unlikely, I mean unlikely. Tom Gray, the managing editor of Rain magazine of all people, he was the one that, because he posted something about the movie. I was like, wait a minute, he's posting something about it. So I hit him in the inbox. I was like, Tom, like, how'd you get this movie? So he pointed me in the right direction, and after a couple of days, I had managed to procure it. Yeah, so Tom Gray.
And mind you, I've been asking like almost on a weekly or monthly basis, like Pat, like, yo, Pat, you found it yet? You found it? Like, I know I was sounding annoying. I used to do the same shit with my pops when he used to bring the martial art movies. I'm like, you got Meltdown? You got the new Jet Li?
And then sometimes I'll be asking, I'll be like, no, nigga, I didn't find that yet, nigga. Shit.
Hey, dude, I could tell, like, dude, one of the her on the couch over here, but like, I really fuck with my movies, man. Like,
yeah, but yeah, it was. It was definitely something, man. It was kind of crazy, how it came from the unlikeliest sources. But once I procured it and I told LB about it, I was like, okay, then me and him had a back and forth, like how I can send it to him, and then once we figured that shit out, then of course it was walking him kind of how to actually watch it with subtitles. Because it wasn't burned onto the. Usually, when we procure these movies, the subtitles are kind of burned into the movie.
Yeah, this one was like it's like they said, look, man, I can't give you the cheeseburger, but I could give you the burger with the cheese and the bun, though.
Yeah.
And so, me, if I'm waiting for that cheeseburger for a whole year, I'm gonna be like, all right, fuck it, like, yeah, I want it, and. I made that cheeseburger. It was good in the morning. So, it's just honestly one of the best movies I've seen this year.
Well, speak on it. I'm gonna, the floor is yours, bro. Speak on it.
Yeah, first of all, Raising Fire by Donnie Yen with the late great director Benny Chan.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Like,
R.I.P.
If you want to, like, this was the proper send off. Our climax of his career, like, honestly, like, there's no greater honor than he could have had with making this masterpiece, like honest to God. But it's a great crime drama action thriller type of movie, starring Donnie Yen and Nicholas TSE. I don't want to fuck up the dude.
I think it's Z
Nicholas C. Like,
yeah,
and he's been in a bunch of movies too. He's a great actor, great fighter. Him and Donnie Yen have like awesome chemistry. The cinematography is next level. Like, I've been watching when Donnie Yen, because I follow him on IG, and I've been watching him film this movie and set it up, and the clips, I was like, oh my God, like, I can't wait till this came out back in like May earlier this year. And mind you, I've been bugging Pat about this shit since damn December, November last year.
Hell yeah. And then myself too, I actually found out it was actually playing in one of the Boston theaters, but what it was doing was it wasn't playing on the weekends, but it would play like maybe once or twice in a day during the afternoon, because it was that kind. Like I said, it didn't have that buzz, and I can't take. I mean, although I'm Big Will in my professional life, I can't take off in the middle of the day just to go watch a flick like that, So, so it was one of those things, man. It was, I needed to, I was like, I need to watch it too. I was like, you know what, I need to watch this as well, and. Once I watched it, and then my setup was a little different. It was incredible. Like, the movie itself, I mean, it's a good cop, bad cop type of trope. I used the big word, trope.
And the message is,
I like that.
the message behind the movie is accountability.
Yeah.
that plays a big part in the movie, and it's deep. The dialogue is great. The message is great. The fighting is next level. The shooting, the shootouts, the explosions, the car chases. It's like everything, but it's not on some just mindless violence. It's a thinking man shit too. And the way they don't tell the story just normally, like they tell it in like some parts have flashbacks, some parts they just, it just tells you as it happened. Like, it's great. Like, it really shows you.
And it was low key annoying in a way because obviously, because we're reading subtitles because unfortunately the copy that I have was not a dub, so we had to use the subtitles, and I didn't mind that. But the way because the way how it was working in terms of the flashbacks and the current day stuff, you had to really read it, make sure you kept that shit straight in your head. That was the only slightly annoying thing I found about the whole.
They did it so seamlessly, like it would almost, the flashback would almost blend into the damn present time. Mm-hmm. Like one moment the dude is beating somebody's ass, and then the next time he's damn laying on the bed reminiscing about this shit, like
right, having nightmares and shit, and his wife is it was. It's
filmed real gritty too. Like it has a dark, like, grittiness to it, but then you got great scenes in broad daylight. Like it's just and that's why the movie was next level. I loved it, man. Yeah,
like I said, the stunt work, like Asian flicks, like whether it's in action or it's in horror, like obviously with Squid Game, like it seems like they seem like the Asian cinema is always on some next level shit from American cinema. Like it like everything that they do is like next level. Like the stunt work on there was ridiculous. Like some of the shit they did with the car chases and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness. And you don't see a lot of it. They didn't overuse the CGI. They know how to use it perfectly.
Yeah, and then
the characters were good too. Like this is one of those rare movies, well, for some people, because some of us is more fucked up than others, but it really had you rooting for the bad guy in this one. And at least I did.
Yeah, I mean, I was just rooting for the action because because it seemed like every 5 minutes there was an ill scene that was happening, man. Like I think especially the climax when dude had the bomb strap around his neck or whatever.
Oh my god, yeah, that shit was crazy. Like that one of the best ending climaxes I've seen in a movie. Like Donnie Yen, he kills these final fights in his movies. Like this was up there with Flashpoint as far as a final fight in a movie. If you a Donnie Yen fan and you seen Flashpoint, you'll know what I'm talking about when he fights, I think, the oldest brother in that that house that abandoned house in the field, and he's doing boxing, like Donnie Yen doing the shoulder roll and shit. Like
one thing about Donnie Yen, because Donnie Yen Donnie Yen is like he knows a lot of disciplines. Like dude is a very well-rounded martial artist, and he implements them like it's rare. Like you see this nigga do like a ill kick, and then after you see him do a German suplex on somebody. Like that's it. Like
he does like all the Street Fighter 2 moves, like Zangief, the Sagat, the Ryu. Like he just go through all. He do a little boxing, kickboxing, grappling, the suplex, like.
Yeah, like and for instance, action too. One thing that I've liked seeing, I like seeing in these action movies lately is knife work. Like the knife work is not knife work is like like they really be going in the knife work. And then Donnie Yen used the police baton. I have one myself too, so it was great to actually see that being utilized. And actually, I was just telling me, it's just like it's not like overly choreographed. Like it's really gritty fighting. Like
yeah.
They wasn't, and then the gunplay too. The gunplay, headshots.
If you a Blue Lives Matter advocate, then this movie might not be for you. Like I'm gonna just say that right now.
You might get triggered a little bit.
You might get triggered because just like if you are a fireman or firewoman and a first responder, you're gonna get triggered by that Michael Myers opening. The Halloween Kills. Well, okay. Donnie Yen, like the Raging Fire, they don't give no fucks about no law enforcement. I'll tell you that right now.
Like they was catching bullets or knives left and right, ass whoopings.
That body count was running up in the double digits, like in the first half.
Right?
And the innocent people, like, man, like, movie to me was a masterpiece. Like, and if you've seen, I know we haven't done a movie review in a while, but we reviewed some good movies this year. And if I could just go back a little bit, I think that the King Kong Godzilla I thought was a good movie, great. Nobody was a good movie, great movie. We had some good movies, but I can't remember what else we've had. I think Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat is still the most disappointing action movie I've watched this year.
Yeah, Army of the Dead, mid. Like so we had some good movies. We had some mid. We had some underrated gems that came out of nowhere, like that Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
So you had some joints, but this movie, it just blew me away. Easily my favorite movie of the year, the best movie. If I had to rate it, normally it's 1 through 10. We don't grade halves, but yeah, this might be an 11 for me, man. This might just maybe because I looked forward to it for so long and so much. And instead of being as good as I expected it to be, it was better than I expected. And not only just a little better, it was like, oh my God, nigga, like this is amazing better. So yeah, I'm gonna break the rule. This an 11 for me. This classic masterpiece, must see. I fucks with this shit. But if we going by the rules, then yeah, it's gonna be a 10 for me. It's a masterpiece. It's perfect. The music, everything. There's nothing in this movie I would change. Nothing.
No, same here, and I definitely give it a 10 too. Like, I mean, like I say, if for someone who was legendary as Benny Chan, like it was the perfect send off. I mean, for most people who didn't know, he did complete directing the movie, but unfortunately, he passed away from cancer during the post production. Where they have to, they do all the cleanup of the movie and stuff like that once it's shot and everything. So
and
he
the
never
tribute at the end was amazing.
It was, yeah,
it was real respectful, almost kind of sad, like. Especially toward the end, but the movie is deep. Like even the words, the choices, everything stays with you with this movie. The fight scenes stay with you. The hurt, the remorse, the revenge, the despair, like it all stays with you, man.
The final fight itself was just intense. And everything. And
the final words of the movie, at the end, I don't even want to repeat what he says. But the last shit he said was just some of the realest shit I heard in a movie, man. Just like make you think, like, damn. You could be accountable, but then what if shit is just different for you one day, and then you think about it the rest of your life, like, damn, what if I would have did this different, or what if this would have happened? Oh man, it's just watch it. Raging Fire, fucking classic. If you a Donnie Yen fan and you don't see this movie, something is fucking wrong with you, or I don't know what to say. Just do it, man. Shit. Just do it. Find a way, nigga.
Yeah, and I co-signed too. Like I said, and because like I said, he had looked forward to this movie for a hot minute, and I'm just like, and then like I said, I'm a Donnie Yen fan too, but he was really looking forward to this movie. So just being able to watch it, and I was just like, yeah, it was worth all the trouble that I went through to actually procure this movie. So yeah,
all the nagging I did paid off, and I don't even like that word nagging, but I could, I'm accountable.
Right. Yeah, and then like I said, and then the process I went through to actually get the movie. Like I said, again, thank you, Tom Gray at Ring Magazine for actually being nice enough to hit us in the inbox and to let me know how to actually get it done, man.
Yeah, shout outs Tom Gray, Ring Magazine.
Yeah.
From Ring Gang Radio to Ring Magazine, salute Donnie Yen, salute Benny Chan and his legacy, and
salute Asian cinema for always staying, above the curve in terms of and being the innovators in this action movie martial arts shit.
Fact.
Above the curve. These niggas is making the road for the curve, like they laying tracks down for it.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, Pilot. What you were saying, my brother?
As the resident nigga Pino on here, shouts out to all my Asian family out there. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like, Great movie, man. I can't praise it enough, man. And shit. And remember, we saw Paper Tigers was a great movie too.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was dope. Yep, that based in Seattle. Yeah, that was dope. That was a dope flick.
Different vibe, but great movie nonetheless. But if you just want that hardcore, then this is it, man. This is
and like I said, me and LB are hardcore rated R junkies. Like every single time, like every time me and him have this conversation about some violent movies, that's how we rate the movie. Seriously, like is this shit violent? Like is it blood?
It has a heart though too.
Yeah,
it does have a heart. And camaraderie and everything, like you feel a sense of brotherhood with the movie. Like it just hits every fucking cylinder. It's not mindless action, like
right. Yeah, I think that's where me and LB kind of differ. Like it has let's say a movie like Night Come For Us, like that movie, I love that movie. Whereas like LB was like they could have thrown a little bit of a little plot in there, it
was like it was over the top, gory, like
yeah.
And that's the thing. Like then the Night Comes For Us was one of them. Then we did Revenger, which was real dope.
Yeah, it was.
I like Revenger more than you did.
Yeah, you did. Like I mean, and I like Revenger, but you definitely like. Whereas like so it's like I mean, but in the end, like so we just like we just like realistic action movies, or if it's not realistic, at least just make it feel like it's real.
And we both love the Yip Man 4.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that shit was
classic, and that was another one I was waiting for, but not like this one. Like,
yeah, that one was actually easier to find.
Yeah, that kind of just came out like, yeah, that shit just boom boom.
Yeah,
but then Yip Man already has a legacy over here because each Yip Man movie they took it another notch. You had Samo in the rematch. I'm sorry, goddamn, we about to talk about boxing. I'm already talking about the rematch.
Yeah,
you had Samo in part 2. You had Mike Tyson in part 3. Then you had Scott Atkins in part 4. Like, yeah. So this shit, man, we could talk about this shit all day, but it's just better to watch it. We both give it a 10. It's a masterpiece. You'll love it. Like, there's nothing else to say, man. R.I.P. Benny Chan. We appreciate Donnie Yen. We giving this nigga his flowers right now. And shit, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, and that'll just be a perfect way to end our review on it. So yeah, go. You see that movie? Go watch it straight up.
Hell yeah.